I do not want to hear anybody shouting, I'm broke, I'm broke. You say what? How? I, I'm sorry, you guys are not going to like this conversation, but we need to have it. We need to have them. Think about your financial goals as the GPS for your money. It will guide you and take you where you want to go. In saying all of this, it is important. Why are you setting your resolutions if you're not even going to keep up with it? You set your resolution in January, you don't touch it again till December, you're now coming back again. Oh, I'll try again next year. Why? Don't do that. It's the year 2025. I do not want to hear anybody shouting, I'm broke, I'm broke. You say what? How? I don't understand. You're a full blown adult and you're still shouting, I'm broke, and you're not figuring out how to fix it. That is a problem. It is a big problem. And today we're going to be talking about how you can set financial goals for the new year and stick to it. Okay. Setting realistic financial goals. In today's video, I'll be discussing how you can set a budget, how you can stick to your budget, how you can set realistic financial goals that will give you peace of mind and allow you stay financially responsible all year long. Yes, you heard me right. Plus, I'll share a few tips that will help you not fall off the plan. Okay. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, keep on watching. We'll be dissecting all of that and much more in this video. Welcome, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lola Lolita. If you're seeing baby girl for the very first time, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I do videos about personal finance, professional development, career growth, fitness, and all of that, lifestyle, everything in between. Okay. If you are interested in any of those topics, do not forget to like, share, comment, and enjoy this video. Okay, this is going to be packed and I hope you learn a thing or two from this video. Let's get right into it. Let's dive right into how to set and achieve financial goals this year. It doesn't matter that it's the new year you're watching this. This applies throughout the year. Let's forget, oh, new year resolution, this and that. Why are you setting new year resolutions if you're not even going to keep up with it? You set new resolution in January, you don't touch it again till December, you're now coming back again. Oh, I'll try again next year. Why? Don't do that. We're going to talk about how to achieve your goals, how to stay on track, and all of that. Okay, let's get right into today's video. Before we dive into the steps, let's talk about why setting financial goals matter. Setting goals gives you a clear roadmap and helps you stay accountable. Without a plan, it's easy to overspend. It's so easy to overspend and lose track of your progress. Think about your financial goals as the GPS for your money. It will guide you and take you where you want to go. In saying all of this, it is important to ensure you set financial goals that align with your current situation. Don't do more than yourself. Okay? Now that we've explained why setting financial goals are very important, let's talk about the next steps. Okay? One on my list is setting a realistic budget. Okay? You need to create a budget for yourself. One of the first steps to achieving your financial goals is to set a budget. You might ask why. Setting a budget helps you track your income and expenses. I know if I ask some of you what was the thing you spent majority of your salary on last month, you can't answer that. Or within the last 3 months, what is that thing you've spent most of your money on? You can't exactly answer that because you just get the money and you spend it. That is not the way you want to live your life, or that is not how to become financially responsible. Okay, you need to start by tracking your incomes and expenses. Break it down into like your major bills. Break your expense categories, for example, into like your rent, your groceries, your utilities, because you have to pay for electricity, water, and all of that, fuel, and all those little things. Okay, then after you've broken it down into different categories, you need to set limits for all of those things. For example, your rent is probably fixed price. Some people pay rent every 2 weeks, some people pay rent every month, and some people pay for the whole year at once. Why you need to set financial goals is because if your rent is due next year, you need to start planning ahead now so that when it comes and it's a big chunk of money, you are not panicking because you don't have the money. But if you've set yourself up for success throughout the year, you've saved up, then it'll be easier to pay your rent. You will not be panicking and wondering, where am I going to get this money? Okay. A great rule of thumb for how, because you're probably asking, Lola, how do I even set a budget? How do I go about it? Let's say your salary is $1,000, for example. Yeah. There's a rule of thumb where they say 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for your savings. And I do not totally agree with that. Okay. And I'll tell you why. So let's say you make $1,000, yeah, per month. 50% of that will be 500. Let's say $500 is what covers your rent for the month. Then you have $300 is supposed to be for your wants. You want to buy a new clothing item. You want to, treat yourself or something. $300 is what you're supposed to spend on that. And then $200 is what you're supposed to save. I feel like personally, like I said, you need to make sure your financial goals are aligned with your current situation. If you're trying to build up your savings more, as far as I'm concerned, the only thing you need to focus on is taking out your major fixed expenses like your rent, your bills, and food, because you need to eat, okay? Don't forget that. But once you take those out, whatever is left, yeah, I feel like you should take a larger chunk of that. I would say 50, more or less 50 for rent and utilities, 30, 50 for your needs, 30 for your savings. If you're trying to build up your savings quickly, put 30% away for your savings. So save $300 instead of saving $200. And then the remaining $200, you can do whatever you want with it. And you don't have to spend it. I feel like maybe there are people that it's like, oh, I have $200 to spend. I must spend everything. No, you do not have to spend everything. Okay. You can, the money is yours. It's not going anywhere. So if you don't finish spending it this month, next month it just rolls over. Okay. And yeah, so I think figure out what works best for you. If you are not even able to save 30% or even 20, if it's 10% you can save it. It's better to start with something than nothing at all. Imagine if you save $100 every month for 12 months, you've saved 1,200, whereas before you would not even have that 1,200 as a chunk of money. Do you get what I mean? So it's better to start small than not start at all. I hope that makes sense. At the end of the day, let's keep in mind this is not financial advice in any way. This is me just giving you tips that I hope would enrich your life and make you a better person. Next, we're going to move on to setting realistic financial goals. I've kind of touched on that in the last step, but we're going to talk about that more in this step. Setting realistic financial goals should be SMART. And what does that stand for? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So instead of saying, I want to save money this year, oh, I'd like to save money this year, you're having a chat with your friends or whatever, say, I want to save a specific amount. Say, for example, I want to save $5,000 towards my emergency fund by the end of the year. Okay. That is more realistic. The chances that you would actually work towards that is higher than saying, oh, I want to save. Because if you say, I just want to save money, you don't know how much you want to save. Okay. So it's more realistic to go, I want to save a specific amount of money by this time. If it's 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever it is that works for you, figure that out. It's easier to save money if you break them down into smaller goals. So it's like, okay, I want to save 5,000 by the end of the year. How much do I need to save every month? How much do I need to take out of my salary every month so I can achieve these goals? And when we're talking about savings, right, there's something I always say, which is, for example, don't say, oh, the example I used before, 50% is going for your needs, right? And then you'll be like, oh, I'll save the remaining 50%. That will not work. You know why? Because you know deep down that you need a few other miscellaneous items during the month. You end up dipping into your savings. For me, I don't see the essence of saying, oh, I can save $500 every month when you know truly you can only save 300. For example, it's maybe your groceries cost you $100 per month, but you've decided to say, oh, I'm going to only put $50 aside for groceries, or your electricity bills cost $100, but you're saving $50 for electricity bills, knowing fully well it is not enough. At the end of the day, the money you've said, oh, let me save it, you are going to dip into that again and start spending. That defeats the whole purpose of setting a budget. You need to set a realistic budget. You need to set realistic financial goals too. So it's like, okay, if you are saying, okay, I want to say I can save $300, then let that $300 be what you really can save, such that except as an emergency, you are not touching that money. Let hunger be finishing you. you are not touching that money. When I say hunger be finishing, you've already bought groceries, but you are just doing longer throats. Like, oh, let me buy food outside. There's food at home. Cook food if you want to save money. Okay. So yeah, that is another way to set realistic goals. At the end of the day, like I said, you need to tailor your finances to match your current situation. It is personal finance for a reason. It is personal to you. Okay. So basically, start with short term goals and then build over to like medium term goals and long term goals. Short term goals, like, oh, I want to save $1,000 for my emergency fund. Then medium term goals is like, okay, maybe you currently live in uh shared accommodation. Maybe you live in shared accommodation where there are like 10 people, but you want to move to shared accommodation where there are like maybe 3 or 4 people, which means your rent will go up. So you need to save up a bit more for that. So like set goals like that are achievable. So it's like, okay, in the next 6 months, I want to move out of where I'm currently living and find a more suitable accommodation within my budget. Don't think that you need to move when where you're currently staying is fine, but it's just like, oh, everybody's moving, I want to move or something like that. No, set realistic goals, be true to yourself. You need to dig deep and figure out what works best for you at the end of the day. Okay, our next step is going to be talking about how to be being financially responsible, how to be financially responsible. Yes. Adulthood na scam, you better tell them. You know the song, right? If you're Nigerian. Adulthood, no one wonders. I'm sorry. This was not the life I envisioned. We were when we're growing up, everybody wanted to be an adult. Now that you've become an adult, can you see how they've scammed us? There needs to be a whole course in school about becoming an adult so you can prepare for it. Because being financially responsible takes a lot. It's not easy. That's why we're talking about it today. I said this year we're going to be talking about uncomfortable topics that will push you to grow. All of us, we need to level up. So that is what this year is going to be for us. Okay, so how can you be financially responsible? You need to be able to avoid impulse purchases. Make shopping list if you're going shopping. Budget, yes, make shopping list. That's what we talked about, but that's why we talked about budget before. Make shopping list. Okay, unsubscribe for marketing emails. Yes, you don't need to buy that shoe. You have enough shoes, you have enough clothes, you don't need to buy. Also, for non-essential purchases, like you see an outfit you really like, wait 24 hours before you buy it. I know it is hard. Sometimes I do it where I see an item, I'm like, oh, I really like this item, but do I need it? No. Will I die if I don't buy this item? No. Let's keep it moving, okay? Sometimes it's easier said than done, and you buy it. But the good thing about like living in the diaspora is you can return items. Keep your receipt and you can return items. When you have that buyer's remorse, return the item. You don't need it again and collect your money inside your bank account. To be financially responsible, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you have to say no. You have to learn to say no to family and friends. Do you have people that are always borrowing money from you, but they don't even return it? That has to be a separate video on it, so we'll talk about that later. That's not why we're here today. But if you have people that borrow money or people, except it is life and death, I'm not saying don't give people money, especially when maybe it's hospital bills or anything that has to do with life and death. Yes, or if it's something that is really urgent that will help them, advance in their career or whatever. You know the kind of friends and family you have, right? I can't help you there. But the point is, you have to learn to say no. And what I mean by that is, for example, it's supposed to be your friend just calls you up and it's like, babe, alpha, let's quickly go and check out this new store. And you know it's going to cost you money. And you know you've set your strict budget for the month. It's like, babe, alpha, I'm sorry, I cannot go. Why? I'm trying to be financially responsible and it's not in my budget for this month or for this week. Maybe we can go next month when I put it in my budget. It is simple, yes. People are not gonna like you, but it is your life, it is your money at the end of the day. If you become broke, which is what we're trying to avoid, is it that not be running around borrowing money? You don't want to be borrowing money. So to avoid borrowing money, live within your means, okay? You know all those ashwebi buying. My dear Nigerians, are you ready for this? You don't have to. You can attend a wedding and not wear the clothes. Yes, you'll be all right. Wear what you have. All the ashwebis you have been buying, you have like 20 ashwebis you've bought, and these things are expensive. Yes, celebrate people's big day with them. You can do that by giving the bride some money. It's like, oh, I can't afford your ashwebi, but here's how I can support you. You drop whatever you can, give them a gift, and life ends there. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, okay? those are some of the ways you become financially responsible. You need to learn to say no. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to figure out what works best for you. Uh, you can look for fun activities to do with your friends without spending so much money. You don't have to form, oh, I'm going on that trip this year. You don't have the money. You now come back, put everything on credit card, and you're now paying it off slowly. You're drinking garri inside your house when you could have saved up and planned your trip properly. Yes, everybody wants to travel, want to go to Santorini. Where are people going these days? I'm sorry, you guys are not going to like this conversation, but we need to have it. We need to have them. Be financially responsible. How to do that is by following some of the steps I've just mentioned. These lists, they are not exhaustive. These are just some of the things I can cover in this video. Next, we'll talk about staying motivated and tracking your progress. Okay, let's talk about staying motivated and tracking your progress. Now that you've set goals, you've decided to be a financially responsible adult in the 2025. I'm proud of you. Okay. Once you set your goal, staying motivated can be hard. What you need to do to help you stay motivated is, by, for example, setting small goals where it's like, okay, trying to figure out how you can hit your target. Where it's like, oh, for this month, I want to save $1,000. Do you get what I mean? That's just an example, yeah? And you need to review your budget and your finances monthly and quarterly. Monthly, I'll say, at least at the end of the month, see where you have spent the most money, or where you didn't spend enough money, or how you can balance your account and all that. So set small goals, because there's something about seeing your money grow that just makes you happy. It's like, yes, I'm doing this, I can do it. So set small goals, set small achievable goals. Don't go overboard. Don't start from someone that has saved zero to, oh, I want to save $10,000 this month. How? Do you get what I mean? Set achievable, small achievable goals. And maybe you have an accountability partner. Maybe you have, money can be weird sometimes talking about it. So if you have good friends or your siblings, maybe you have siblings that you're close to, that you can discuss finances and be like, oh, my target is to save 1,000. Can you ask me at the end of the month how I'm doing, or how I have achieved, if I've achieved this goal? Like, they help you stay accountable. Do you get what I mean? Okay. But be mindful of who you share your finances with. Finances is a very, I call it personal finance. It is very personal. Know who you are sharing this with, because there are people that you'll be like, oh, I have $5,000 saved up. Best believe there are some people that is when they know they want to borrow this money from you. And the moment you be like, oh, I don't have, they tag you as a bad person. It's like, ah, Shebi, you say you saved 5,000. How come you cannot borrow me 500? Do you get what I mean? So be mindful who you share your finances with. Lastly, we're going to talk about a few tips. Some of the things I do to help me save my money well. I really clamped down. 2024 was the year I can tell you, like, I saved a lot by just doing a few things. What I did was I automated my savings. Some of them, I, even from my employer, I split my money into like two different accounts. It's like, this is for expenses, this is for savings. Do you get? I split the money how I wanted. One, two, yes. Look for ways to increase your income, whether it's a side or so. It's a digital world now. Figure out how to make money online or physically. If you want to start a business, that can be another goal, where it's like, oh, I want to start a side or so, but I need $1,000. Then start saving that money, and before you know it, you have enough money to start this business. Okay, so you need something to keep you motivated and keep you going. Just make them small achievable goals, and you will get to your destination in no time. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys have found this video helpful one way or the other. Do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for spending the last few minutes with me. Thank you for sitting there and watching this video. I appreciate you all, and I hope we'll all become financially responsible by the end of 2025. I hope I can come back at the end of the year and be like, this is what we have achieved, or we can all discuss and talk about what we have achieved for the year. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Hope we all become financially free this year. We become financially responsible, we attain financial freedom and all our goals. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.